It's May the 8th, 2024. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. Ooh, baby, it's Wednesday, so you know what that means. It's a slow news day. How you doing, Jeremy Lambert?
Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to type all of your responses into the chat, and that was the bit for today.
No, I mean that'd be a good bit, I guess. I mean, I did the Shibata bit with the what I'm pumped up, Joel. I haven't slept.
Let's
Miles
go.
Wood, overtime, game winner. The OKC Thunder doing work in game one. It's a good sports day.
Yeah, you feel good?
Yeah, I'm tired, but such is life.
I went to bed at 10 o'clock yesterday. I feel good. I was up at 6, but you
What?
know.
10?
Oh yeah, no, I was done. You know when you have one of those days where you get to the midway point and you're just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done with this day. That was me.
That's like every day, but I gotta keep going. You know what I mean?
I get it. You do have to keep going, but Tuesdays are very famously my day off, and I try to take advantage of that. And I have a 2-year-old who is very much acting like a 2-year-old these days. So we're trying to mitigate the 2-year-oldness of a 2-year-old.
You should just punt him.
Look, I'm not going to say what I wanted to do last night during dinner when he was having a tantrum.
You've already admitted that you knock him in the head with fridge doors. So
one time, and he was fine. He was fine. We're all fine. We're all right.
10. Who goes to bed at 10?
Oh, you know what? Since things have changed so drastically in my world, 10 o'clock, 10 or 11, it's usually 11. It's not 12, 1, 2 anymore. Or listen, there was a time when you and I, Jeremy, we were doing 5 o'clock and calling that normal.
Yeah.
Sending Kenny Omega gifs back and forth on Twitter for no reason. We did that. You can find them somewhere. But no, instead, man, between child and between having to wake up early to deal with things, be a good Jew, as they say, go to morning services and do the things for my dad. You get up early for that stuff. I'm tired, but I need some sleep.
10. I can't remember the last time I went to bed at 10.
I'm not. You know what? I think by the time we get to the winter, I will not be doing this anymore. One thing that happens to me in the summertime is I like to be a morning person because I like to get as much sunlight as I can. That's something that keeps me going in the summer. Getting up, getting my errands done before like noon, because by noon it'll get to 35. So what is that? 85, 90 degrees where you are. It gets hot. And when it gets too hot, you just don't want to leave the house. So for me, if I get up early, get my stuff done by noon, then I can hang out at home and not feel bad about that.
The wife just messaged me and said, we should go to bed at 10. The games don't start until 10. How am I supposed to go to bed at 10? The puck drop on the game last night for the Avs and Stars, it wasn't until 9:52. I'm not going to bed at 10.
As a Ducks fan, I absolutely get it. I
have years of just training my body to stay up late to watch all those West Coast Avs games, all the Mountain Time Avs games. Yeah, the puck drop isn't until like 10 o'clock. This series, this round's going to be the death of me, Joel. Stayed up late last night, overtime. Thankfully, everything was good, like got 2 dubs. I'll always take that. And it's going to be the death of me. I don't think the game ended till about 1 o'clock. Then I couldn't sleep. Like, how are you supposed to sleep after your basketball team turns in a great performance and your hockey team comes back down 0-3 to win in overtime? Like, what is sleep after that? You know what I mean?
You're real jacked up after that. I get it. I do.
Oh, I was so pumped. And then I was trying to my best friend Sammer, we always stay up. He lives in the middle of nowhere. It's like 4 o'clock for him, and he's watching OKC games. True commitment right there. And like he's watching the game, and we usually talk after every game, but the Avs were in the third period, late third period, 3-3. And so I couldn't like talk to him because I had, the game to focus on. And I'm like, I'll give you a call after the Avs game. And he was asleep like a bitch. I'm 5 minutes in. I was so
Good
mad.
call.
I was so mad. I texted him. I was just like, after the Avs scored, it's like, let's go. And then I was like, I called him to wake him up. And he fell back asleep after the Thunder game. And I was like, you're being a bitch. I'm hype up. I'm so jacked up right now. I want to talk. I want to talk sports. And he was a little bitch. It's very sad. None of my friends are awake. Everybody's sleeping. Aren't you guys awake and excited?
Why aren't you friends with more people on the West Coast?
I don't know.
That used to be my thing. I would just make friends with people on the West Coast so that I could, stay up and chat with them. People in Hawaii, that was great. They're 4 hours back. By the time, I don't know, let's say Monday Night Raw, by the time Raw ends, it's lunchtime for them. Make friends in New Zealand and Australia. By the time Raw ends,
did they like
American sports?
basketball and
Oh
hockey?
God,
Yeah.
yes, they do.
Hockey though, a lot of people don't like hockey.
So yeah, hockey is a little bit different. I know that when I was working on cruise ships in Australia, we got the games and we got them live. Watching hockey live at like 10 in the morning is phenomenal. But I used to keep up with friends in Australia when they were watching basketball. And I'm not a big basketball guy, but something to talk about and something to do. There are huge basketball fans literally everywhere. I mean, now the NBA goes to Europe at the beginning of the season too, right? So like that does happen. They're not going to Australia and New Zealand because it's a bit of a different beast when you do that. But no, there are fans across the world for these sports, 100%.
Yeah, I mean hockey, I don't know. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of hockey fans out there. Maybe there
No,
is.
but that's the thing. Like over the last few years, the NHL has put such an emphasis on rekindling the American hockey fan base. And once they came up with Hockey Day in America, I was like, it's over, man. Once that started, that was like maybe 5 years ago. I saw that and I was like, no. They're trying to take from us, the Canadians, where Hockey Day in Canada became a thing, where Hockey Night in Canada was an institution every single Saturday night. Instead, we get Hockey Day in America, and it's just like Hockey Day in America is every day when you're in the NHL, and there's maybe 6 potential non-US based games. What are we doing here, really?
Yeah, Hockey Day, they do they have like all 16 teams, all 32 teams, 16 games playing, and it's just like staggered throughout the day. Matthew Hooks, he's a Dallas fan, so like we're kind of at war. I wish no ill will. I'm not trying to I ain't taking no shots at Dallas because I don't like when people do that on my team. So I ain't doing that. Matthew, I know it was a rough night for you guys. Apologies. I don't know, apologizing for it, but I hope. I mean, I don't hope the series gets better for you because that would mean my team loses. So I don't actually hope that, but I hope you are well during this very stressful time. That's all I hope.
Respect for you being a fan like that, because you understand A, karma, and B, you understand the importance of looking after the mental welfare of those who cheer for a team you don't necessarily cheer for.
I don't want people coming like at me. Like, I block people on Twitter over this. Like, I'm just here. I don't try to say anything disrespectful towards the other team. I know a lot of people do that. And look, that's their prerogative. I get it. I understand
They're
that's part of
wrong.
being fandom.
They're wrong.
Like I completely get that, but I know I'm not mentally well enough to handle that stuff. So like I'm not trying to go after other people for that. So like I get it. It's part of fandom. No issues that when other people do it. I don't do it. And if people come at me with that stuff, I will 100% block you. So, because I don't want that kind of stuff.
Well, you know what? We won't block you if you leave a thumbs up on the video. We won't block you if you just subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked, especially if you get the fireworks. When the fireworks,
weird one.
Yeah, those really, they did something. What happened there? What happened to the fireworks? Like, they did a thing.
Well, they came on, and then like the thumbs up came up, and then the fireworks came back. It was weird.
Wow, glitchy. Anyway, glitches also get super chats, so go ahead and send us any amount to get your question statement around the air. We're also doing something on the Twitter. I call it still Twitter. It's not the other thing you all think it's called. Hashtag AskITW. Go ahead, use that hashtag. You do it in this chat, maybe I'll pick it up too. We'll answer some questions along the way. They do not have to be super chats, but the super chats are always welcome because they do support us here at Fightful Overbooked. Get our staff paid, get our contributors paid. We like to make sure that they are taken care of. Chi-Town Spurs opens us up with the super chat saying, OKC might be for real. Very impressed. Those are comments.
Cautiously optimistic about this round. Luka's hobbling. Like, I'm not naive to that. Luka ain't Luka. So that makes things a little bit easier for us. I will say that. But you know, we're a good team. It's we're a good team. Now I try not to get too over here. We got one win. We still need 3 more, but we're good.
Start somewhere. You just got to string them up from there, right?
I tried to see if Sammer would come on our shows just so I could call him a bitch.
Did you preface it with, I'm going to call you a bitch?
Yeah, I said, come on our show so I can call you a bitch.
I feel like that's not conducive to somebody appearing on our show.
That's my text message to. I mean, we've known each other for way too long, like a decade. Never met him in real life, by the way. My who I consider my best friend, and never actually met this person in real life. For all I know, it doesn't actually exist. But I just want to come on to call him a bitch.
Yeah, you should. Is that weird to anyone in the chat, or maybe you've experienced it too? Do you have friends that are not like best friends? I'm talking close best friends. Do you not find that weird that they are an international best friend and not someone that you like can physically hang out with on a regular basis? Does that feel weird to you, or you just kind of like made peace with that? I mean, obviously your wife is your best friend, but it's different. I'm curious about that.
Are you talking to me or the chat?
Both, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I'm asking you because you brought up the fact that Sammer is your best friend and lives very far from you. I mean, you and I are close. Don't tell anybody. And we talk a lot, but you know, we don't live in the same town or the same country. So that's, I don't know, it's something I think about that. There's close online friends. There's close real friends, IRL friends. I don't know. I'm just curious about that stuff.
Well, clearly I don't have that much of an issue because like I've been doing it for years now. I don't know. I don't think it's weird. I did a podcast with Sammer for years upon years ago. We were writing friends, and then we've just always stayed in contact. I don't like hanging out with people in real life anyway. So like, I don't want to hang out with people. I just want people I feel I can talk to. And, you know, I think that's what a good friend is someone that you could just talk to. You don't necessarily have to see them and hang out with them in real life, because I don't want to hang out with people in real life. And situations are different as well. You know what I mean? Like, I had friends when I lived in North Carolina, and then I moved here and completely just didn't really know anybody. And I made some friends along the way, kind of. But I still just talk to all of my my online friends. As long as you feel you have people you can talk to, I don't really feel like it matters where they are in the world, as long as you feel you have people to talk to.
That's fair. I largely agree with you. And I see Chad is also mentioning, you know, a lot of them have friends that are far away and they consider them best friends. Some of them haven't seen each other in years. There's also, you know, there's a whole extra layer on that, which is, we had a pandemic where for 3 years, at least in Ontario, for almost 3 years, we weren't really seeing each other in person. So it almost became normalized to not be in the same room as each other for a while. So I get it. I'm always curious because I've been thinking about who I hang out with lately, and the answer is not many people other than my wife. We work together at home. It's separate jobs, but in the same space. But other than that, people I see are mostly just random interactions here and there. It is what it is. Find it interesting. What did I get? I got a couple of questions here from the Ask ITW thread. Are you ready?
Yeah.
First is from our friend Doc Mueller. Of course, I asked the question, why does Jeremy's profile say DOC? Is he stealing my gimmick?
No, it's allegedly I'm the director of content on this website.
What does that mean? Are you?
I don't know.
Are you doing something else? What are you doing?
Sean gave me a fancy title to justify when I got extra cash last year. That's all it is. It's a fancy title. It doesn't mean a damn thing. I mean, maybe it does, but like, it doesn't really. It's a fancy title because I got a raise last year, and that's all it is. Like, so that means DOC, Director of Content. Allegedly, I can direct content on the website if people listen to me.
If people listen to you. He gave you that title while we were on the air on this show. That's how important this show is to the canon of Fightful's history.
Well, I asked for, the raise when not while doing this show, but because I've added this show, and I was like, we're going to do all of this. And I was like, here's how I justify what I'm asking for. And Sean was like, all right, there was enough trust there to follow through. And I think we've done a good job with things over the past year now. Yeah, I know. To where it all worked out. I mean, Sean knows how hard I work. I don't have to justify. I mean, I do have to justify when I ask for more money, which I haven't done in over a year. But yeah, that's all DOC means, is a director of content. I do like director of chaos. I should start.
I thought you were just talking. I thought you were just stealing from Doc Gallows in TNA. I thought this was an Aces and Eights thing.
Is that a TNA bit? He called himself Director of Chaos.
He was the director. Is it Director of Chaos or something? Director of something.
JJ says it's Director of Chaos. I believe.
Yeah, no, I agree too. Listen, Aces and Eights was a fever dream for many people, myself included. Oh. That's what I figured you were going to do. It's just be the director of chaos here at Fightful, which would be very much on brand for you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Ryan Lambert asks, what's the biggest sports moment you've witnessed in person? Oh, that's a good question. Non-wrestling. I don't think we're going to count wrestling in this one.
Ooh, I haven't witnessed anything great in person. I mean, I've been part of I've seen like wins, like cool wins, playoff wins. But that was when I lived in Carolina. It was the Hurricanes winning in the playoffs. So like, whatever. Yeah, I haven't. I can't think of anything that was actually. I was gonna name one that just but it's a joke. Literally, only me and Sammer, that bitch, would understand. So like, I don't have one. Honestly, I don't have one. Do you have one?
I'm trying to think of a few of them. I remember going to Ottawa for a game. Oh my God, was it a game 6 against the Penguins when Sid was hot? But there was a chance that Ottawa could tie things up. Maybe it was a game 7. This was years ago in the playoffs. And I remember going at the last minute from Toronto. I was still in school. And that was a big moment. The Sens lost, but it was a big moment for the team because I think that was maybe the year before they would go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Other than that, saw the 67s, the OHL team, win the Memorial Cup. That was in 99. That was the year where they hosted the tournament, so that also kind of makes things weird because they weren't the best team in the OHL, but they were the host team. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's AAA hockey. And then other than that, I don't think there's anything. I watched the Jays play an 18-inning game once, and I wanted to, myself. I also played it. I had a gig that got truncated on Canada Day because the Jays went 18 innings. We sat in a sports bar where they had hired us to play. And they're like, no, you're not playing a note until this game ends. And the game went 18 innings. So they're like, all right, I guess you're playing for one set and we're still paying you the same amount with all the food included. And I was like, all right. So that's probably the best moment in sports for me right there.
I saw a walk-off home run when I went to a Reds and Cardinals game many years ago. Yeah, I was at game 5 of the I'm terrible with years. Whatever year the Canes won the cup. It was Canes and Oilers in
05?
the cup finals. Was it 05?
Maybe.
Okay. Terrible with years. I was at game 5. Edmonton won in overtime. I nearly got into a fight with an Oilers fan after the game.
05, 06.
Okay. So yeah, 06. So yeah, that's probably that, but that wasn't like a fun moment as I was rooting for the Hurricanes at the time. Yeah, that's about it. That's all. I went to a couple football games that when Cam Newton was the MVP, we beat the Buccaneers. That was a cool game. Otherwise, I don't have a whole lot of great like sports lockouts. Yeah, I saw the Pisani goal live. I assume that's Spencer. Yeah, Canes are on the power play, and it looked like, oh, here we are, here we go. We got a 3-1 lead in the series. This is it. We're gonna put them away. We're gonna win the cup right here. And then they lost the game. Yeah, I nearly got into a fight with an Oilers fan after the game because I told him to shut the fuck up.
Damn.
Security had to get in the way.
Damn. All right. You know what? Here's a fun one. I watched the Bruins win the cup in 2011. That was the game they were playing the Vancouver Canucks. I was in Riga, Latvia, and I watched the game live on TV, and it was like 3 a.m. there. And I just remember waking up to be like, can I watch this on TV? And it was actually on TV. Latvian TV carried the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7 between the Bruins and the Canucks. And I remember staying up to watch that game. I was also sick. That sucked. But
but you weren't there live for the game.
No. But since we're reminiscing about sports moments, I just thought about that hilariousness.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I've seen plenty of watching live, and obviously the top moments there are Avs winning the cup in 2001 and Avs winning the cup in 2022. Those I watched. I remember the 2001 cup win. My friends invited me to a movie. I don't remember what the hell they saw. Whatever some top movies were that came out in June of 2001. They were like, hey, you want to go to the movies? And I'm like, hey, it's Game 7. Why the hell would I want to go to a movie? So I did not go to the movies with my friends. I instead watched the Avs win the cup. I remember being very hyped up when Alex Tanguay, Avs legend, scored to open things up, and being very hyped up just the entire game. And then 2022, watched that with the wife, and that was the same night as Forbidden Door. So I remember I blew off Forbidden Door. I was like, I ain't watching this dumb wrestling show. Are you kidding me? Sean was completely understandable. I was like, hey, it's Game 6. The Avs got a chance to win the cup. I'm not watching Forbidden Door. He's like, no, that makes sense. You don't have to cover this show if you don't want. I was like, all right, cool.
Wait, this was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay, I had to put it in my head which Forbidden Door that was. Gotcha. Yeah. That was the Chicago Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I covered the press conference afterward. I was like, talk all night, Tony. I ain't going to sleep anyway. So whatever you got to say, go for it.
First time you were willing to listen to Tony Khan talk.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
Like, I ain't going nowhere. Let's go. Oh man. By the way, Joe Dirt came out in June 2001. So
no, it wasn't Joe Dirt. I'd seen that movie about 13 times already. I legitimately saw that movie in theaters like 5 times. Not kidding at all. I saw it with my dad. I saw it with my friends, and then I saw it with another group of friends. So at least 3 times I saw a movie in theaters. Joe Dirt's a classic. Never
It's a
saw Joe Dirt 2. I refuse.
it was a prerequisite for working for this website, was being a Joe Dirt
That's
fan.
very true. Sean always used the snakes and sparklers line when I first started for this website. I was like, all right, I respect the Joe Dirt reference, but at the same time, stop it.
And he still does it to this very day.
It does.
Man.
Does.
Anyway, keep sending in your hashtag ITW tweets, or you can drop them in the chat. And of course,
don't.
Whatever. Sometimes listen, it's either that or we're going to talk about Ric Flair real quick. You want to talk about Richard Flair's wild ride? And I'm not talking about Space Mountain. I'm talking about going to the pizza place, having a few too many, and deciding, hey, what's your name? Nicholas Dickhead?
You're cutting me off because I'm drunk. Yeah, dude. That's like how it works.
I'm in a group chat with friends of mine. Of course, it's a group chat. Usually friends are there. And one of them sent the transcription that went around from Wrestle Purists where Flair said he had a heart attack during his last match. And my immediate reply was, yeah, I'm not reading all that because I don't believe any of it. And then this happens. And he had sent out the tweet later in the day about, the all caps, no caps tweets about his experience at the restaurant. And I'm like, there's going to be a video that comes out and it is going to dispel everything you just said. Lo and behold, yesterday, the video came out from the business. Someone filmed.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been covering this story. God,
I saw.
Yeah. Well, everyone posted the video yesterday, every website, which fair play to them. I mean, we posted on our socials. I didn't want to post the video on the website because the owner said, hey, we're not going to release the video. Like it's settled as far as we're concerned. We got nothing else to say. The video came from clearly a staff member because it looked like they were behind the bar. Maybe it's another bar patron. I don't know, just depending on how the bar's set up.
It was definitely like if it's an L-shaped bar, it was from
the
back end, or it looked that way.
Yeah. So it could have been from another bar patron. But that video came out and I was like, like we can post it on socials. That's fine. I know social media works different than like our actual website. But it's like, I don't really want to post the video on the website because they said they didn't want to release a video. I said, we'll post the video if Paisanos comments on it or Flair comments on it. And then this morning found from Gainesville Sun. It's a local place in Gainesville, so it's no surprise that they're on top of it. They got the first comment from Paisanos co-owner, and then they got a comment from Flair, and that's the article I did this morning and that's when I had posted the video as well, since it's comments on the video. The video doesn't make Flair look very good. He's clearly drunk, and I don't know what kind of conduct he was conducting before all of this, but we can see the video pretty clear as day. He's not acting as one should in this environment. Flair claims, he said he went to the bathroom. Somebody like followed in there and like wanted to do pictures and stuff at the bathroom. And then the person went into the stall and was like looking through the stall and like texting. And then he came back out and he said that a female staff member accused him of being a peeping Tom and a creep. And then I guess that's when everything led to what we saw in the video. The owner was like, we reviewed it, we handled it, we did not accept his tip. Flair was like, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip. And then they said they didn't accept that. And then I don't think Flair makes himself look great when he's like, I'm going to file a lawsuit. And also, I got enough money to buy this place and just turn it into Ric Flair's Italian Bistro. I'm like,
whoa, no thanks.
Sure, I guess that energy drink money's paying well, but like, I don't know. None of this looks great. Like on Flair, just doesn't look good.
Rarely does, unfortunately, with him.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot more to say just because Rick has proven himself over and over again to be just not good for this anymore. Like it's done. It's done. You know what? Go open Ric Flair's Italian Bistro. Go and open it so that I just don't have to hear about. I'll hear about your restaurant business. I won't hear about your appearances in wrestling events.
He would. That wouldn't go well. I mean, one, because like what Ric Flair venture does go well. I guess Woo Energy
I
is
don't know
doing.
about that. I would love to know how Woo Energy's doing because I sure shit don't see him, hawking it. I see AEW hawking it more than I see Ric Flair hawking his own beverage. And Steven Jensen will tell you how he feels about it, having both tasted and bathed in it multiple times. Steven Jensen will tell you how he feels about it.
Yeah, I don't know how it would go. I will say that like I haven't like been in the restaurant business. I've worked at restaurants. I've worked as a bartender at a restaurant. I worked as a bartender and a server at a startup restaurant. It ain't easy. I will just say that it is not easy.
And a lot
Like
of people think that it is. That's a big problem.
Yeah, it's but I assume Flair ain't actually going to be like hands on this thing. It's just like, oh, my name's attached. Let me just hire people and then go from there. I don't think he's actually going to be like actually hands on with it. Because if he was, yeah, it wouldn't go well.
You know what?
He did do crypto. That was a thing.
Yeah, how did that go? This is the answer. Give him a corner in Hogan's shop and he can just go away. Did Flair's Fakakta, I don't know, something. Give him a chapel in Hogan's beach house. They all love to wear big old religious artifacts around their necks now and tell them how big they are.
A-Shock's asking Flair David Tepper who was worse. So for those who don't know the David Tepper story, that's the owner of the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, he's not a great owner. He kind of sucks. But during the NFL draft, there was a sign outside like a restaurant bar in Charlotte of like, let the GM and the coach make the pick, because Tepper he's a meddling owner, and you don't want that with your sports team. You want your owner to just spend money. You don't want him making decisions. They're rich for a reason, but it ain't because like they were involved in sports. You don't want the owner making any actual sports decisions. So there was a sign outside that said like, let the GM and the coach make the pick. And David Tepper just happened to be walking by and he stopped in to this place and he had some words with the front staff. I don't know what the words were. There was video that came out on that. The audio wasn't like great from the video that I saw anyway. And from the report, it seemed like Tepper was like pretty cordial with things. He certainly wasn't drunk and belligerent and threatening anybody. Again, from the report that I read and from the video that I saw, it seemed like he just kind of came in, was like, hey, that sign, I don't know, kind of mean. And then they were just like, we don't make the signs out here. Yeah, it's just what we put up. And he's like, okay, sure. But it sounded like it wasn't anything bad. From what I read, maybe more had come out and I just wasn't following it close enough.
Got a super chat from Caden saying that this Paisanos was his local pizza place. The Paisanos has like it's a chain. They got a bunch of locations.
Caden lives like everywhere, so like everything's local to Caden. He's in Florida one week, in Dallas the next week, he's in North Carolina the next. Like I don't actually know where Caden like resides.
I don't think Caden's a real human being. I don't think he's a real individual.
Fair. I had pizza with Caden in North Carolina.
Was it at Paisanos?
No, it was Mellow Mushroom, which is I love me some Mellow Mushroom. I got the pretzel. They make the pretzels out of their crust and dough. I took those back to the hotel room and watched Survivor Series, and that was a good night. Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, depending on who you ask, like it was a good show, Survivor Series. But I enjoyed my Mellow Mushroom pretzels. That's really all I cared about. Because fuck about wrestling.
Which Survivor Series?
This year.
Oh, this year. I thought okay.
Because you were
You made it sound like it was the Survivor Series Golden Egg Edition.
No, that was pandemic, wasn't it?
No,
Wasn't
that
going out.
was in New York. That was at Brooklyn, wasn't it? Pretty sure that was in Brooklyn, or at least shortly after he brought out the egg in Brooklyn.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Dude, everything's a big circle. Time is a flat circle.
Yeah, again, terrible with time and all that stuff. But yes, I've had pizza with Caden.
Yeah, I don't think he's real. I think he's an AI bot. Just like A-Shock. Caden and A-Shock are both the AI bots in the chat. They're getting more sentient by the day. They live everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I've seen Ace say where they live. Okay, I know that, but then at the same time, they say that they're fans of hockey teams in other cities. So I really think there's a form of sentience going on here. I think the AI bots are forming a brain. It's very strange.
You, Tony Khan, and Drake, all with these AI bots.
And I don't want to be associated with the last one more than anything.
Wop, 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 wop. I'm going to do my stuff.
Oh, God.
Now step this way. Step this way. Step this way.
So I sent you the article yesterday about the incident outside of Drake's place, and we'll get to wrestling talk again in a minute. I sent you the maybe, but did you see you saw that? Had you already seen the?
Yeah, we talked about it on FMC.
You did. I was out and about yesterday, so I didn't see. But man, that was something.
It seems like
the place where it's happening is extra strange.
Say that again.
Living in the place where it's happening is extra strange. And I think part of it is also that, like, I happen to be, so for those who don't know, there was an incident at Drake's house. There was a shooting, and it was a security guard, I believe, who was shot. They're okay, or at least they're in hospital, non-life threatening, but it was still serious enough that they were taken to hospital. They closed off the entire street, and he lives on the Bridle Path, which in Toronto is like a very affluent neighborhood. It's big houses, big mansions, and it's not like in the middle of nowhere. So it's Lawrence and Bayview. For those who know Toronto geography, that's like pretty midtown, just east of Yonge, which is the major street in Toronto. And I was on the Lawrence bus going westbound. So I was like, oh, this happened. Like, if I went back that way, it's like a 10-minute bus ride the opposite direction. And I just read it and I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, this is really going down in my city. And I can't say I'm surprised, because that's usually, unfortunately, when things get a little too heated, then stuff like this tends to happen. So I couldn't tell you I was surprised, but I certainly was, I was upset by it. I don't think anything should lead to this kind of violence. But yeah, you saw the article and you saw the story come out.
It seemed like it was the Weeknd's crew, not Kendrick's crew. That's
okay,
the I don't know about theory, the reporting, but people are saying it's the Weeknd and not Kendrick. So, we'll see if more comes out. Allegedly, according to academics, Drake was maybe supposed to drop something new yesterday, and he didn't because of that. I don't think Drake was actually going to drop anything. I think he's done. I think he's tired, and I think he lost.
I'm tired too, but I don't think I lost. That's true. Who am I kidding? CM Punk lost on Raw. He lost. He lost the story.
You're being very mean to old Phil here.
Well, this is my favorite part, is when we get to tie in episodes from other episodes into this episode. Monday, we sat here and we said, oh, Raw has all these all of these matches set, and they're going to have all these matches, and it's going to be
I said, nope.
Allegedly the biggest card, blah, 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 whatever it was. We went through a whole semantics conversation. We spent 30 minutes on semantics of a tweet and what it means in a trivia footnote. And then WWE was like, you know what? Maybe Jeremy has a point. Let's prove them all wrong. And then they took out 2 matches and said, hey, how about now? And we all said, wait, why? And then they put CM Punk.
I didn't say that. Don't say we all said. I said, hell yeah, WWE. Fuck this wrestling.
Yes.
That's what FTW stands for. Fuck this wrestling.
You just took that from mine. Forget this wrestler. Anyway, I was not surprised. I definitely had a moment where I was like, oh, this is the first time they've done something like this in the Triple H era, new era, whatever. It's all Triple H, where they've completely, like, people have been shuffled around on the card. People have been like matches have been kind of taken out due to timing issues when The Rock was around. Stuff like that has happened, but it's never been like, no, we are pulling these two matches and we're going to have them on live events. And these matches that actually mean something are suddenly going to be put on, on a live event. So maybe come to our live event. That was the first time that they've done anything like that. And it was a bit surprising, but at the same time, it then really felt like we did it so that they could do a CM Punk promo where he comes out and says, I'm going to be here all day. And then he decides that the day is over and he's going to go to the back.
I mean, that wasn't the first time CM Punk has called someone out and that could not respond because they were not there or they were not allowed to actually come out there.
Crimea River?
Nah, when he did the Hangman. Come on now.
I don't know. I'm just at this point, I don't care about these little shots. I saw the engagement accounts being like, he made reference to Jack Perry and nobody popped, and I was like, yeah, man, because nobody gives a shit in that audience. Nobody.
I like that Drew was like, you make all these little insider references that only basement dweller dweebs would understand.
It just wasn't like that. Punk has done a lot of really fun stuff. I'm not going to call it good or bad, but it's been fun. The audiences have mostly had a good time when Punk has come out. This is, I think, really the first time since the return that Punk can kind of swing and miss. Like Tim's in the chat, Tim Winter Jr. saying, that Punk promo sucked. That was at Raw. Other than his song, the crowd was dead for it. And it felt listless. It felt like he was just kind of there to be there and didn't do anything. No Drew. Drew had
people were complaining about the crowd all night. Like I've largely tuned out WWE shows. Like if the crowd's really good, like it wasn't like Backlash, okay, I get that. But like all these other WWE shows, it's just like, maybe the crowds are acting, maybe they're not. People were complaining about the crowd from what I saw.
They were
all night though. Like as far as Punk goes with his references, I didn't friggin' get it at first. Granted, I wasn't paying too much attention. There was sports on. I was definitely watching the sports that night and not Raw. But when he was like, I'm a choke artist, or you're a choke artist, not like I'm a choke artist. You know what I mean, Pat? And Pat's like guillotine choke. And then I saw the clip where he, references. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. I didn't pay attention to the crowd. But Punk did this with the who goes around and punches coworkers backstage type of thing. Like he's done this.
See, that before. One was funny too, because at least they made it into a backstage segment. This one was just kind of like silly and totally useless.
It's whatever. I mean, the hilarious part to me is I don't think Drew's gonna respond to that particular line, but like he should. Not at the guillotine choke. Who gives a shit about that? He should respond of like, you say I'm a choke artist, but not a choke artist like you. Let's talk about you being a choke artist. What happened in your first UFC fight? Who got choked in that fight? You looked like a choke artist then. He got submitted with a rear naked choke in that fight, Joel. Just for your reference, okay?
Thank you. Yes, appreciate it.
So he should bring that up. Like that's what I would say if I was true. It's like you're a literal choke artist. Like you're right. I'm not a choke artist like you. You're a literal choke artist.
The only thing you like to choke is your chicken. And then everyone on the internet would laugh. Because we're all a bunch of 12-year-old boys.
And Caden saying he responds to it on Twitter. Yeah, he did that promo and then he did like the lemon face meme thing. He should have shown the UFC photo where Punk's getting choked out.
Yeah, they're all in the same ownership umbrella now. He could do it.
Yeah, like that's what he should have done. But he, I don't know. Like maybe he can't. Maybe Punk doesn't accept that. I don't know. That's how I would have responded, though. I would have shown his UFC fight. Be like, this is the kind of choke artist CM Punk is.
Could you imagine if someone just for the first time ever on WWE television, we're going to show you CM Punk's UFC fights. It's just one segment because that's all you need. 7 minutes and 36 seconds, and we can get entrances in too, and that's it. Oh man, there's no reason to do it, but if you're gonna do it, that'd be a good troll from Drew McIntyre. Drew McInfart. Remember
What?
that? Do you not remember that? Was
Not
that in
sure I
Pierce?
do, but that seems oh yeah. I
Also,
do.
Drew Mc- and then someone pointed out on Twitter that Drew McIntyre was never the same after that moment. And they're probably right. If you go back and trace it, it's probably when Drew McIntyre really started his descent into madness. Yeah, we'll show you the UFC fight instead. It's the footage from All In. Oh god, the internet. Anyway, so that was Punk's thing. Drew had already peeled away. He didn't come back. Did you expect? Did you think maybe Drew was just going to come back by the end of the night and do a thing with Punk, or was it just kind of a surprise that nope, that was it? Called him out, and nothing happened.
I thought Drew might come back, but they're killing time for this, right? Like they're killing time just in because Punk's hurt and Drew is now hurt because he's not in King of the Ring. So they're just having to kill time until whenever they both get cleared. So they can't like do a big. I mean, I guess they can do a brawl. Punk's gotten a little physical, and Drew I think can get physical as well. But yeah, it just feels like right now they're just going through and they're just going to keep calling each other out and taking shots at each other until they can actually wrestle.
And it sounds like they're trying to tease something for Clash of the Castle. CM Punk at least said he's going to be there. Said if Drew's there, I'm there. So if they're going to set something up for that show, that's fine. But Punk has to lose that match. Drew can't lose. I mean, he can, but he shouldn't lose two years in a row in his home area. And in this case, it'll be his home country for real.
Well, I mean, he can lose.
Again, like I said, he shouldn't. He can. Anyone can do anything most of the time. But in wrestling, maybe you shouldn't have him get beat by CM Punk in his home country where he will almost certainly get most of the cheers. Unless he comes out and he's like, I left this place so I could go live in Nashville. I love Smashville. Let me tell you about hot chicken.
Your Scottish accent is something else.
I don't know who I'm channeling when I do it.
Not Drew McIntyre.
Oh God, no.
It's a Willie from Simpsons.
Oh,
that's
right.
who it is.
It's a Willie. You're right.
Yeah. That's his name, right? You know.
Yeah, Groundskeeper Willie. You're right.
Groundskeeper Willie. I was trying to think of the friggin' nickname. I almost called him Steamboat Willie. I knew that wasn't right.
No.
And then I almost just call him. I don't know what else. I knew I had something to do with like a rake, but yeah, Groundskeeper Willie. Like, yeah,
the rake bit is Sideshow Bob.
Yeah, I know, but like groundskeepers use rakes, you know, like.
You got to use the shinny. Oh, you mean the shining? Shh. You want to get sued? You don't watch the show, so it doesn't work.
God awful. Just awful.
Bonjour, you fleeing surrender monkeys. Anyway, that's going to be Clash of the Castle. It's going to be Drew just making Groundskeeper Willie jokes. And then CM Punk saying, get in my belly. So instead, if they do the match Clash of the Castle, it's just a one-on-one match at that point, right? There's no world title, no need for a world title at this point. But like, this should be a world title match down the line. Do you agree or disagree?
I think they're going to do it at SummerSlam. I don't think they're going to. I think Drew is going to win the title at Clash of the Castle.
Okay.
I think he's going to win the title at Clash of the Castle. And then I don't know if Punk's going to be there or not. I know Punk is threatened to be there. Maybe Punk's on commentary. But I think Drew wins the title at Clash of the Castle. And it sets up the SummerSlam match. That's my prediction.
I like the idea of potentially running back the Mania finish where Drew wins the match. This time, no one can cash in on him, so he can go extra hard on Punk.
Yeah.
But then they have to get to the whole, does Punk lay him out, or does Drew get ahead of it and lay out Punk after having just won the title in his home country? And that's what kind of sets up this inevitable title match at SummerSlam. And we also have to get through Money in the Bank as well. So Drew's going to have to hold the title through Money in the Bank in Toronto, or they just don't have a title match for that title on the card, which
don't have a title match.
Which I wouldn't totally be against, because you already have the 2 briefcases. Cody will almost certainly have a match. There are other matches you can put on the card, and I don't think people would be too upset if they don't run both world title matches on Money in the Bank. So I guess, yeah, at that point you could build up Punk and Drew for SummerSlam and do it in a stadium, have a big world title match, or Drew wins the world title at Money in the Bank.
I guess that's possible. I think, then what's Drew doing at Clash? What's he doing at Clash of the Castle?
This is the big question, because once again, we don't know what King and Queen of the Ring get, if anything. I know you and I talked about the idea of the winners of their respective King and Queen of the Ring getting title shots, but like, it doesn't seem like they're doing that, because they certainly didn't make any reference to it. Could they in the finals say like, oh, this just in, the winner gets a shot at their respective world champions? Sure. And that'll be a Clash of the Castle. But maybe with Drew being taken out of this, I don't know. I don't understand whether or not this was ahead of time planned, the plan that Drew would be pulled and that Jey Uso would be entered in. This is one thing that I do appreciate from WWE, because if this was planned this way, I'm annoyed that they pulled Drew and they put Jey in, but I at least appreciate the way that they told the story, that, you know, Drew didn't say a word about being, or nobody knew Drew was injured until Drew said it, and then he caused his own downfall in the King of the Ring tournament. So like, there's a bit of meta storytelling that's involved that I do appreciate, but I'm a little annoyed being like, what came first, getting pulled, or was this the day of? Like, what happened? How did we get to this point?
I kind of think, and maybe I'm giving them too much credit, I kind of think it was planned. Because Drew and Finn made some sense, because Drew is still mad at Priest for the cash in and everything. But Finn and Jey made more sense coming out of Backlash. So and Drew was obviously still going to do the stuff with Punk. It feels like it was a little planned, which I'm okay with, because I think they handled it very well. And I don't think too many people were upset that, oh, instead of this Drew McIntyre against Finn match, we got Finn against Jey Uso. Jey Uso's pretty over, except in Cleveland.
Well, that's because it's not day one-ish.
Well, you know, the Cavs tried to get them fired up with the yeeting, and the Cavs fans were just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, who would do that? They had a game 7 to win.
That's true. They were more concerned with game 7 than they were like, oh, let me do this. People don't understand. Maybe they do understand, but I'm gonna tell the story anyway. Sports fans, like, I think some of us in the chat are sports fans. Certainly I am. Joel is, but like, we're sports fans who also like wrestling. There's a lot of sports fans that don't like wrestling. This is breaking news for everybody, right?
What?
They don't want shit to do with wrestling. I went to a Canes and Islanders game years ago, right? And the Islanders adopted the yes, you know, from Daniel Bryan, Brian Danielson. They adopted that. They completely ripped it off. They completely stole it. It's fine. So did the San Francisco Giants. And Danielson was actually like part of the parade when they won the title. Anyway, they adopted the yes thing for the Islanders. And maybe they still do it to this day. I'm honestly not sure. I don't keep enough track of the Islanders. If they do, Patrick Waugh is going to cut that shit out immediately. He's going to be like, no, absolutely not. What are we celebrating for? One goal? We're doing yes chants? No, we don't celebrate anything here. But anyway, they adopted the yes chants. I was at this Islanders Canes game. I didn't know they adopted these yes chants. I didn't pay enough attention to them. Islanders score. They start doing the yes chant. We're sitting in front of these Islanders fans. They start doing the yes chant. I'm like, oh shit, it's the Daniel Bryan chant. Cool. So I turned around and I was like, oh, is that like the thing the Islanders do? And they're like, yeah, we just started it this year. Like, this is when they first started it. Like, yeah, we just started this year. I was like, oh, do you guys know where that's from? And they're like, yeah, we started it. I'm like, no, dipshits. You guys didn't start this. Daniel, I didn't say that. I didn't call them dipshits. That'd be very mean of me. I was like, no, like, this is from wrestling. This is Daniel Bryan. Like, a wrestler does that. And they're like, oh, wait, this is from wrestling? I was like, yeah, yeah. They never did this yes chant the rest of the game. The Islanders scored. They didn't do it anymore. They were offended that this yes chant came from wrestling. I feel like a lot of sports fans who aren't wrestling fans feel that way. If you told them that this thing that they do is from wrestling, they'd be like, ooh, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing it.
I go to so many sporting events where they're playing the entrance themes of these people during the show that it's like, it's very funny to me that what you don't know. I mean, I get it. It's wrestling. Like people aren't as big into wrestling as they used to. Although if you ask Triple H, WWE's never been harder than it is right now. So let's go to Vegas and blow all our money on WrestleMania. Don't do it. Anyway, the point is this is weird. Sports fans, they don't necessarily want wrestling in their wrestling. There's too much wrestling in the real world, Jeremy Lambert. That's a problem. There's too much wrestling.
Everything's wrestling. Everything's wrestling.
Everything is wrestling unless there's a wrestling match and then everything gets pulled.
Good.
That's right. Then there's no more wrestling. You want to talk about that Becky Lynch interview? Not much I can say about it other than that was awkward as hell. Michael Cole, hey, how about your hat? Becky says, yeah, it's a nice hat. Yeah, but how about that hat? Yeah, it's a nice hat. I like wearing nice hats. Okay, but how about the hat? And then out comes Liv Morgan.
I can't say that I have any recollection of this happening. So
her wearing the hat or her being asked about the hat?
No, I remember the hat because it was, Kentucky Derby and Seth Rollins was there. Maybe shaved his head, maybe didn't. Who knows? But I remember that. But this promo, I don't remember anything about this promo. But Liv and Becky are facing at the Saudi show, right?
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah, not allegedly.
No, I know it's on the card. It's being confirmed. I get it.
Yeah.
But if there's something WWE has taught us is that their credibility is shot this week because they promoted all these matches and then they pulled them. So who knows how we're going to get to Saudi this week.
Is WWE a credible source?
I would say no. After Monday, they are not. Anyway, continue on before I stick someone's foot in their mouth.
Whose foot are you?
Anyone else's foot I will stick in their mouth. Not my mouth. I'm not into that.
Are you going to pull like Bret Hart, Jerry Lawler, where he made him kiss his own foot? That's a thing that Bret Hart did.
That was, and he hadn't washed it in weeks and put schmutz all over it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So how about the hat?
What about it?
Well, no, you gotta ask about the hat. That's all that they wanted to hear about was the hat.
No, all right. It's a cool hat.
It was a cool hat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was pretty sweet.
Sure, that's fine. She didn't say that, but it's done. Where can I find this kissing feed? The 1995 King of the Ring.
Yes.
It's 95.
Can you kiss your own foot, Joel?
No, but I've seen my child stick his entire foot in his mouth. It's quite something.
No.
It's very funny. Sometimes it's cute.
I used to be able to. I don't know if I'm still flexible.
I have really good hip flexibility, so I might be able to do it. I'm not going to do it. Don't ask.
Coward.
Don't even use the hashtag AskITW to ask me to do it. That is something I will not be doing. Donate a $500 super chat and I'll consider it.
I feel like
No, don't do
it for free.
Don't do it for free. Turn off your camera at least if you're going to do it.
I feel like I could do it if I wanted to.
Don't do this for free. We've been taught not to. Anyway, Tim Winninger Jr. sent a super chat saying, question, is Ricochet going on a heel turn? His social media seems to hint it. Well, first of all, maybe he should hint at wearing the speed title around his waist when he goes out for a match on Raw, when in the backstage they have him wear it and they talk about the speed championship, and then he shows up without it and he loses the match and he looks like a bitch. What happened? What happened to Ricochet? Where is the speed title? You can't tell me it's not canon because commentary mentioned it. It was featured on a backstage aired segment. What was this? What happened?
I told you how this should work. Ricochet, after 3 minutes, needs to just be like, I won. That's it. Just leave, take his speed title. I'm still the speed champion. This needs to be the heel turn for him. Because it's very dumb that his turn, if he's doing that, is, oh, I keep losing all these matches. Well, you keep winning these 3-minute matches. So clearly, like, you're not losing all your matches. You just can't win the big one. But then why are you the speed champion? It needs to be after 3 minutes. He's just like, I won. Give me my title. I've successfully defended my speed championship. And that's it. That's his turn. That'd be a great bit. I don't know if Ricochet can pull it off. Maybe he can. But for somebody, they gotta do this.
Should be R-Truth's gimmick when he wins the speed title.
Maybe.
When is Ricochet's contract up? I think it's in our resources section on Fightful. And I think it might even be, I think it's end 2025, but it's in there. I know that the number I know that it's in there. I remember seeing it. Go check Fightful.com, go to the resources section. We have a bunch of contracts, not everyone's, but those that we know have impending dates, or at least some sort of date attached to it, including Nick Khan's, which is August 2025. There you go.
Yeah.
Letting you all know that.
It's no. It got extended. It's 2026? 2026. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I remember he said at one point it was 2025, but that got extended. Good for him. Ryan Lambert sent a super chat saying donating to get Joel's on Wiki feed. Also, hat talk. Thanks, Ryan. See you in Toronto. Anyway, yeah.
Is Ryan going to be in Toronto?
He talked about going to Money in the Bank.
Oh. I'm considering it.
All I'm saying is you should consider it. Our pals doing the Money in the Drank, I gave them a venue while they were on the air with us. That venue confirmed. We'll be going to the Bovine. I don't know if you remember us talking about the Bovine with one Jody Threat at one point in an interview. And Jody talked about being a door gal at the Bovine, taking tickets and stuff. And I had also done that job. Anyway, that's what we did 2 interviews with Jody. So our first interview with Jody, we talked about that. We're going back to that bar as part of the Money in the Drank pub crawl that the Love Wrestling Group are doing. Love Wrestling Group. They sound like a professional wrestling consortium.
I don't like their love of wrestling.
No, they should love less wrestling, you say.
Yeah, like, why would you love wrestling?
I agree. Remember when Cesaro decided to love wrestling and they had a huge beef with Cesaro? Oh, I mean Cesaro, not Claudio. Claudio stopped loving wrestling and started loving coffee and books. But Cesaro loved wrestling.
What's he doing nowadays? Is he okay?
Claudio?
Yeah.
He reads a lot of books and drinks a lot of coffee.
No, good on him.
Yeah, Black Bull Coffee Club is what he calls it.
It's a good life if you can get it.
God, wouldn't it be great? Anyway, what else do we have from Raw? There was something else from Raw that I wanted to bring up that I completely forgot.
There was matches. There was wrestling on Raw. Pretty unfortunate. Gunther and Sheamus was good.
There you go.
It was a good match. I like that Gunther has to like pull out all the stops to beat Sheamus. One of these days, Sheamus is gonna win, maybe, and it's gonna be a huge, huge pop.
Good for them. Is Gunther gonna win the King of the Ring?
I don't know who's gonna beat him. We don't know who's on the SmackDown side of things yet. Well, LA Knight, Escobar, and Carmelo all said they're in.
I assume at that point Bobby Lashley is going to join the field because they kind of teased that Bobby and Mello are going to have a bit of a beef, which honestly I'm all for it. And if it leads to Mello eventually joining up with Bobby or just some sort of working together, I'm fine with it. You know, just a respect turns into friends type of thing. I wouldn't hate that. Tama Tonga's in as well, so that's part of it. You could do Tama Tonga versus Jay in a finals. I don't love it, but it's a bloodline match that we haven't done. If Jimmy's ready to come back in time, you can kind of tease whose side is he on, even though he got kicked out by Tama or jumped by Tama. But it's
Jimmy.
Jimmy. It's Jimmy, so he's a wild card. Every time he shows up, you don't know who he's going to defend or who he's going to go for.
Jimmy's got a. I feel like we should know whose side he's on. Yeah, maybe he looks at that ass beating Solo and Tama gave him and is like, all right, respect. I respect you, Booker man.
I deserve that. Maybe I deserve that. Yeah. So I don't know. The Jay, I don't want Jay and Tama to be doing that. And JJ saying in the chat that Bobby Lashley and Tama got booked for King of the Ring on SmackDown. If that's true, if that's announced, then I could see Mello and Bobby Lashley in round 2 or in a further round. But again, I have
Tama's gonna lose.
They did announce the SmackDown brackets. Didn't they do it on socials or something?
I don't know. Sure.
Well, I'm just curious because I can't remember. Yeah, there we go. It's there. Of course, the first thing that comes up is Denise having a TikTok about it. So here we go. Styles, Orton, Corbin, Carmelo, Knight and Escobar, Lashley and Tama Tonga. All hail King Corbin. I feel like we've been here before. That was my favorite. That was my favorite call that I ever made, was when they announced that King of the Ring the year that Corbin won. And the second that they played that video, I was in the stands. It was in Toronto when they announced it. And I tweeted out, Vince McMahon in the back saying to the writers, why have a Baron when you can have a king? And immediately he won the King of the Ring. That was it. I was like, that's the only reason that they did it, was to, why have a Baron when you could be king? And that's what they did.
I don't feel like Tama's going to lose that match. I feel like Tama might go to the finals. Or maybe he loses to Orton in the SmackDown side. Like they both go for the RKO gun stun at the same time, and Orton's is stronger because he's done it for longer.
Kick him in the back first.
Orton and Gunther is a fun final that I just now was like, I would like to see that match.
What if it turns out to be Dragunov and Hayes?
That sucks. Why would I want to watch that again?
I don't know. So you think Jey Uso beats Ilya Dragunov and Gunther beats, I don't know, let's say Kofi Kingston, so he could say he beat both members of the New Day? This is the Raw. Yeah. And then they do Gunther and Dragunov?
You just said, is Jay beating Dragunov?
Sorry. Yeah. Would you do Jay versus Gunther, or would you do Dragunov versus Gunther? Because yes, we're assuming Gunther makes it to the finals.
I would do Jay. I think Jay should beat Dragunov. People are going to be very mad by that, but I think Jay should beat Dragunov. It feels like if Jay's going to lose, he's probably going to lose some shenanigans.
His main event.
I think Jay should win that match.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
I should win that match.
Fair.
You should.
Hello, Sean. How
I
are
should
you?
win the Fightful Championship is what I should win.
Maybe you should come here and get it.
You know, with my grandmother's dying breath, she said, beat that fucking fraud Joel Pearl for the Fightful Championship. She said that.
Listen.
Now listen, you might want to seek out some more credible sources for that information, but that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
The problem is,
cut a promo to that.
No, I won't. The only question
You
I have,
disrespectful asshole. Go ahead.
No, I can't, because then
Disrespect my grandmother's legacy. Go ahead.
no, you can't.
Are you wearing a Doja Cat shirt?
Of course.
When you look in the mirror, do you see two bad bitches?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You and I are trying to build up, just like AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. Hey, I love your dad. Hey, I love my dad. Okay, I'll see you in France. That's the build. You and I are going to be like, hey, Dead Club. Okay, cool. See you in Toronto. This is all we're doing.
Yeah. I think the content we filmed 2 years ago is best served to be aired on this show as opposed to any of the other shows now. So I'll be getting you that footage eventually.
Oh, please and thank you. It'll just be sitting here one day in this overbooked folder, and we'll be like, "What's this?" Click. Oh, damn.
So like, Rob put it together, but he put it together as like a collection, and I was like, Rob, listen, I know this doesn't look like it has any context that belongs to it. It's like, but it certainly does. One thing I'll say, he graciously blurred out an item that was used.
No, that's the item.
It is the item. However, you have seen how weird and toxic people get. I can't imagine the photoshops that would exist.
It's a BBD, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Beyond that.
Yeah, it's
Beyond
good.
that.
It's big, all right.
Quite honestly, it was novelty size.
It's BBGD, okay?
Yeah.
There's a good G in there.
My God, it was insane. It was unreal.
Yeah, we got to use that footage. It's been years.
Yeah, so
I've heard more about this footage. I think I've seen bits and pieces of this footage.
Oh, it's been built to the point where it's gonna be very disappointing to everyone who's ever heard us talk about it.
We filmed it abruptly and very hastily.
We had no plans for it.
I punched Melissa at one point. That was pretty cool.
Oh my God.
That was probably the best part.
Yeah, that was honestly, I was pretty proud of that bit. It was
Yeah.
You wouldn't punch someone with glap. I was very happy about that. I know I'm spoiling it, but who gives a damn at this point? I filmed it 2 years ago.
Wait, that one was not at the office. That was at the game, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I remember now. Okay, had to get my placement right. That is so funny.
So yeah, that will air hopefully here in the coming weeks. We will have a few here and there.
We just gotta build this up. We're gonna air the footage, the exclusive Sean Ross Sapp versus Joel Pearl footage here on when we need to pop.
Oh, it's a storyline, brother.
Yeah,
there's a full storyline we did.
There really was. Can't tell you what it was anymore, but I'm sure it exists.
Dare I say, at the time we did some pretty fun, stupid, corny stuff. So, but
we can't get away with that now.
No Jimmy Van today. I am on the What Do You Guys Want to Talk About podcast. So hopefully you guys join me at 3 p.m. Eastern today.
Is he talking to us? Or is he talking to
are you like asking us to join? Do you want us to come on that show?
No, I don't want you to join me today. No, absolutely not.
Sure.
Goodbye.
Wow.
Bye-bye. Thought we had an open invitation. Apparently not.
Really?
It was kind of rude. You can't come in here and say those things and not expect us. I thought we were welcomed here.
Shows up on our show whenever he wants. Why can't we just pop him?
We did a damn Q&A because of all the things going on. We've been good.
We should show up to one of the What Do You Guys Want to Talk About? We're both there. Just see what happens. See how that goes.
We don't even say anything, and I know that's a bit you.
We're just eating. We just got food.
Food, just eating. Yeah. It's just like you doing the Dynamite preview, and I just sit there eating Teddy Grahams. Let's go. Oh man, he was eating eggs. He put a bite in his mouth. He just didn't really. You couldn't see it. I did see it though.
Can't do this, Joel. We'll get some eggs, and we'll just pop up on Sean's. What do you guys want to talk about? We'll just eat eggs while Sean's talking. I won't say a word.
That's it. It's our hostile takeover of Fightful. We'll call it FITW, Fightful in the Weeds.
FITW. Okay.
It could be FTE, Fightful the Elites. We are
see it.
Yeah, you get it. Val, who's fantastic, and we love Val here. Can I please be on commentary for SRS versus Joel? Yes, you can. I would love that. I'd be actually very happy to have you on that. Problem is, I can't tell you what the match is about or when it happened, but you just go and do a cold, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
just send Val the footage, and she can just do the commentary over it.
Yeah, we should get it. Just solo Val. Like Val, if you want to bring someone else with you, sure, whatever, it's cool. But like solo Val works too. Hot dog, handshake, Dutch payment. Is that all right? Did you freeze? Oh no, you're good.
No.
All right, where are we here? What's next? Nothing? Okay. We didn't get to the King of the Ring stuff. We got sidetracked.
I think Jey Uso wins.
Jey goes.
No, he beats Dragunov, loses to Gunther.
Loses to Gunther. Okay.
Yeah, I've sold myself on this Gunther Randy Orton match.
I mean, that's a hell of a match. I would like to see it.
Gunther can travel, right? Like,
yeah, he did the Vienna show.
Okay.
He did the Vienna tour, so like the European tour. So as far as I understand, he's not landlocked anymore. Because I know that was a topic of conversation not long ago for Bash in Berlin, which isn't until the end of August anyway. But it appears at least he was on this tour, so I don't see why he wouldn't do this as well. King and Queen of the Ring. Listen, it's a private flight. The U.S. government will get paid off. It'll be okay. Come on, you know where they're going.
It feels like Randy wants the Saudi show for, get that cash, brother.
Good yeah, of Randy. Course.
Feels like the Saudis probably want Randy's as well.
Well, apparently the Saudis also want a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania at one point, according to
they might get it.
Listen,
might get a Rumble.
A Rumble, I think, would be understandable.
They've already had the greatest Royal Rumble.
That's true. And they also had an event greater to or better than WrestleMania.
Yeah, I remember when they built that shit. Jesus.
And it was like 2 weeks after WrestleMania, and it was just rematches from that year's WrestleMania. So you've done it before. We're it's fine. Whatever.
The greatest Saudi match of all time was Cena and it was Randy, I believe, or Cena and Triple H. I mean, really, the truly the greatest Saudi match of all time is The Undertaker and Goldberg. That's truly the greatest Saudi match.
It was so hot, I almost dropped him on his head.
You can't beat that match. But yeah, the Cena and I think it was Triple H just having the most painfully house show match that you could possibly have. Ruled. Absolutely ruled.
Wasn't that like one of the first events? And then
that was Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And then
15-minute house show match.
Yeah, and then Cena was like, "Nah, I'm not doing these anymore because of all the political issues and basically all the realities of being tied to Saudi Arabia, and I got to work on my film career." Which for Cena ended up being a good idea that he didn't work another, Saudi show for a long time. If ever, did he come back and work another Saudi show?
His last, before he just came back, Crown Jewel, where he lost a solo. He worked.
Okay. So yeah, that was his first time at a Saudi show, and that had been 5 years. So, waited until it was done. They should do the Greatest Royal Rumble. They should do the Greatest Royal Rumble in 2025 or 6, and just let that be. Let that be it. Have Braun Strowman defend his stupid green belt.
That belt ruled.
That belt did rule. It was just a cruiserweight championship with different designs on it, with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia flag on it.
Taker and Goldberg's like an all-time great match.
Remember when the Fiend won the world title at Saudi?
I remember when Goldberg squashed him, and people were legit mad.
Oh yeah, that did happen, wasn't it?
Sean was so angry that happened. I'm like, whatever.
You were on a show afterwards.
Yeah.
It was
a troll. Carlton Joseph and I trolls off of that.
You guys were relentless after that.
Who could possibly care that they put the title on Goldberg?
That's true. That was a tremendous bit.
Who cares? Goldberg should come back and win the title now. Goldberg should have beat Gunther.
Goldberg should have beat Gunther?
Yeah.
Maybe, just have him replace who could he replace on the SmackDown side? Baron Corbin. Corbin, bye-bye. Goldberg, you're in. Goldberg beats Carmelo Hayes. Goldberg beats Randy Orton. Goldberg beats Tama Tonga. Goldberg beats
he should beat Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is tiny. Goldberg would run right through him.
Poor Bret Hart just sitting there being like, could have been me.
Carmelo Hayes would go for his top rope blood drop. Just Goldberg would spear him off of it. Be a good spot.
Just break his leg right behind him. Seems really bad.
What can you do?
So SmackDown side, do you think Orton's going to go to the end? You think Orton's going to make it to the final?
Yeah, I've sold myself on Gunther and Orton now.
That's a pretty big match to do in Saudi as a final. I do agree with you. And then at that point, let's say they do decide that the winner gets their champion's respective title match. Orton versus Cody. You start that at Clash of the Castle and then play it off Money in the Bank and then do it one more time at SummerSlam as the blow off.
Like, good. Orton's just going to lose 3 times to Cody? What was he, Seth Rollins?
Well, yes. But you do one of those in a cage, then let's go.
I don't want to watch
one
that.
of those becomes a DQ finish because the Wyatt 6 show up. Or the Wyatt 7 or the Wyatt Sinak. I don't know. All of them.
When are they going to show up?
I don't know.
Those QR codes have been going on for a month now.
There are a lot of QR codes, and I have no time. Thankfully, the detectives are on the scene. And their answer is basically Clash at the Castle.
I hope that turns out well for everybody.
Me too. I hope a lot of money gets made out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
I hope Nikki Cross becomes a permanent feature on WWE television because of this.
Well, she's going to be Abigail. Sister Nikki Abigail.
Nikki, she's had so many changes during her time in WWE. First, she was Freaky Deaky, then she was a superhero, then she was Freaky Deaky.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about the superhero.
You forgot about, how can you forget about former Raw Women's Champion Nikki ASH? I was so certain that triple threat match at SummerSlam was not going to happen. That they just promoted it so that they could bait and switch and get Nikki out of there before the match even happened. Instead, they did it to their detriment, I guess. They still had it, but yeah, former Raw Women's Champion Nikki ASH. It happened.
I remember it now that you mentioned it. That should have been so much better. Like, it should have been I mean, like, I get it. Like, what's the ceiling on that thing? But they really should have capitalized on that more. That was such a money idea for the kids. And it was just...
That's it. Uncle Howdy versus Gunther in a Zero Sugar Mountain Dew Baja Blast match.
They got to give me this dumb shit with Uncle Howdy. Like, they got to honor Bray's legacy by doing just the dumbest things possible. In a good way.
Oh yeah, we're not making fun of the legacy.
No, everyone knows Bray Wyatt's like one of my biggest pops of all time. Like, that dude ruled. I loved all the stuff he would do because it was so outside the box that it was just like, this is pro wrestling right here. This is pro wrestling. And I need that stuff with who's the worker of this group? You got Bo, Loomis,
Joe Gacy, allegedly.
Rowan, Gacy.
I guess Joe Gacy's the worker because listen, I am biased because I am him, but Joe Gacy can go.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Joe Gacy's going to be the guy, and then I'm never going to get my interview because they're going to be like, we can't let you interview the guy who's now, doing freaky deaky stuff. I'll be like, find a way. Why is he
Drake?
What? Freaky deaky?
Yeah, why is he Drake?
Is that what they're calling him? I thought they call him Freaky Dreezy.
They're calling freaky ass.
Oh, that's true, but that's different.
He's a 69 god, freaky ass, 69 god.
That line was 100 times.
They're not like us. They're not like us.
People saying the Loomis shouldn't be involved. Maybe Lexus King should be in Loomis's spot. There you go. I'd rather Dexter Loomis get used than not get used.
But they need Bo doing.
That's the cut right there. That's it. That's it.
They need Bo doing the Funhouse, but he's the Bo Leave, like inspirational speaker.
Yeah,
that's what
perfect.
they need. I need that. Bo Leave was great, by the way.
The one that goes around is where he's doing the runaround and he runs into El Torito. Yeah. That's one of my favorites of all time.
NXT Bo Leave, legit great.
Yeah, I would love to see them bring it back. Does he wear the sweater vest, or does he, like, what does the Bo Leave character dress like in the Funhouse?
He wore like suits and stuff on NXT TV, so I just feel like he does that again.
But like it was Mr. Rogers-esque because it was this weird juxtaposition of creepy Bray when it was Bray Wyatt doing it. That was the Funhouse. It was the creepy person dressing up.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like Funhouse. There can be nods to the Funhouse, but I need like the like pasture, like Bo Leave, the inspirational speaker. So he's up at like like he's a pastor out there. That's what I need.
And then he can throw pancakes into the audience in 5 years. Sorry, that was a different crew.
Yeah.
Dexter Loomis tossing pancakes into the audience. That was a very funny visual.
Nah, dude, Uncle Howdy doesn't wrestle in that gear. Uncle Howdy just like stands there and like shoots shit out of his hands like a fireball or something.
This is my question: is how do you present this group? Because they have to be they're based on something, but they can't be wearing these intricate masks all the time.
Sure, they can.
This is going back to the shouldn't versus can't conversation. In my opinion, they should not be wearing these masks all the time because I feel like there's a risk of losing the character if they're the characters that we've already seen presented.
Your problem.
It'll be stuck in the Bray universe when we're trying to pay homage to what Bray had thought of.
Your problem here, Joel, is you are thinking about wrestling matches.
Yes, I am.
Who gives a fuck about wrestling matches?
That is true. WWE certainly doesn't after Monday night.
I want them doing dumb skits. I want them doing dumb vignettes. I don't want them wrestling at all. I want them making movies, brother. That's what I'm here for. I don't want Uncle Howdy wrestling, Cousin Loomis wrestling, niece Nikki wrestling. I don't want any of these people wrestling. I want them coming out and just chilling, doing fire going off, Mountain Dew pitch black all over the place, confetti, pyro, ballyhoo, cars crashing. This is what we need. Wrestling. Grab a headbutt. Fuck that.
But that's the problem. That was the issue with Bray Wyatt.
That's not an issue.
That was the issue. It was what happens when the character who is so popular and so well thought out goes after a world championship, and then we saw what happened. What happened
was it ruled because he didn't sell shit and he beat people.
And then
they were like, Goldberg's the one to end this, which also ruled.
So Goldberg has to come back for the end of this story, is what you're saying. Goldberg has to come back for the end of this, right?
Sure, I'm fine if Goldberg comes back, but no, I don't want the wrestling. The Mountain Dew pitch black match is one of the greatest matches of all time. People forget this.
No, they don't forget. They just choose not to remember. Very big difference.
Why do you? Whoa, what's the story when the bell rings? The bell shouldn't ring. That's the story. The bell never rings. All right? The bell does not have to ring. They can be in the ring. They can shoot lightning. They can shoot fire. They should be the fucking Planet Power Rangers out here. Was that Captain Planet? Somebody shooting tornadoes and Matt Hardy can slap it.
Okay, hold on. So
somebody shooting fire. Someone shooting water.
Hold on.
Someone shooting grass.
You said that's when RVD comes back for WrestleMania. You said the magic word, and I'm wondering now, when does House Hardy take on the Wyatt Six? Because House Hardy, we discovered through TNA, House Hardy has like 1 billion members, and like he could easily cobble 6 of them and have them take on the 6 Y members, including like Rebby Hardy versus Nikki. That's a clinic going on right there. Reb Hardy would just paintbrush Nikki for 20 minutes, and Nikki would just sit there and take it because that's the character.
I like that idea.
Thank you. Once in a while, I pull it out.
This is what we need, Joel. You're talking about wrestling matches.
Well, we got to sometimes.
No.
There's some wrestling in the wrestling matches. I hate to break it to you.
Rebby's fucking playing the piano out
With
here,
Nikki's
and
face.
that just like maybe Rebby can play the piano and like Sister Abigail like does like a dance, and that confuses they'd be a great tag team, and that like puts a spell on the opponent. That's how it should be. So Niece Nikki uses confusion attack.
Niece Nikki. So I watched. I don't know if you watch Uncle Roger on YouTube. He's a comedian who does. His name is Nigel Ung, and he's also like a food guy. So he does a lot of cooking stuff. But he has a character called Uncle Roger, which is like a very stereotypical Malaysian man who. Anyway, it's just very funny. Every time people talk niece and nephew, that's how he talks about someone he just met. Anyone who's an uncle title is like great and a god at what they do. And then the nieces and nephews are like the low level trying to make their way up. So now I hear niece Nikki, and I'm just like Uncle Roger in this thing.
Oh, okay.
You got to know it to understand it. Go watch Uncle Roger stuff after today's show.
Drew was asking what type of dance does Sister Abigail do? Not the Tootsie Slide. Can't Tootsie Slide your way out of this one.
Two-step.
Step this way. Step this way.
Yeah, you get it. They really gave our dumbasses a morning show for the last year on this channel.
A sprinkler. That's a good one. Oh, that's how she brings the water down too. Oh, that'd be a fucking great bit. She's just like doing, and then the water just falls down. Hold on, thunderstorm is thumbs down, right? Can't I?
Yeah, at one point it was.
Yeah,
you gotta like get the thing going. Yeah, the thumbs had to be like. That's weird. Why isn't it happening? Just one?
Just because
you got weird thumbs.
I'm trying to do thumbs up again to try to bring the okay. All right, there. I'm trying to make sure. Come on. Oh, well.
Just got more thumbs down. Anyway, thunderstorm. I think you have to make an upside. You have to frown too.
I can't frown. I'm always so happy.
No, don't lie to the audience.
What a terrible bit this is, as I just attempt to trigger.
I just hate this.
Attempt to trigger the CGI effects. Like, work!
You got to stop smiling about it. That's the problem.
I can't frown. Oh!
What a waste of time we just did. Oh my god. Okay. So hold on. So Sister Abigail was Bray Wyatt. We found that out, and then they didn't do the match because everyone got sick for that one TLC pay-per-view. But instead we got Finn versus AJ Styles, which ended up being the best.
This is what should happen. Should do the sprinkler, and then and
the water falls from
the water falls on everybody.
PG version of the viscous red liquid that used to fall. By the way,
that's what should happen.
JJ mentioning that Speedball Mike Bailey was part of the House Hardy stuff from Under Siege. I gotta say, Speedball looked like he was having the time of his life out there.
Like, Speedball loves that dumb stuff. He runs his own show and does like that dumb stuff.
He is go watch my interview with him. And this isn't a cheap plug as much as it is like proof of this statement. Go watch my interview with him in the hotel back in January. That's exactly what he talks. He just loves the dumb shit in wrestling.
Yeah.
He's like, I could fight a good match. Like I could do a 5-star banger, but like sometimes I want to do the stupid shit because it's wrestling and I get it and I respect it.
Yeah, Speedball rules. Oh, the blood that missed Kevin Nash. That was so good. So good.
I hope they cover it quite heavily on that new $7 what killed WCW. The budget, it was the blood budget. That's what killed WCW in 2001. 23 years later, we're still talking about what killed WCW. The answer is what killed WCW or who killed WCW. Repeating this content kills WCW. So stop.
They're still making money off of this.
They shouldn't.
You gotta give
the people what
whoever credit the fact that they can still like monetize the death of WCW.
You know what? And this is something that Pollock and Thurston talked about, and I thought that was a really good point. The idea that WCW was they weren't around in a time of like streaming and online presence like social media. So this is still a big thing to certain people because it was on the cusp of digital media's, increase and incline. It was the beginning, it was the build. So for some people, it's like you were just starting to hear what was going on, but you didn't know what was going on to the same degree that you hear about like the ongoing, backstage stuff going on in a place like AEW or TNA or MLW. Like it's different. So I understand why it continues to gain some sort of like fan reaction, but at the same time, it's like you can pick two of the already established what killed WCW non-WWE titled, shows, and just go with that, and you'll get the answer right there. One of them is a book. Just read Nitro. Go read the Guy Evans book.
Nobody wants to read, Joel. Come on now.
Get the audio book. I'm sure someone's done an audio version of the story. It's there.
We should do a Who Killed WCW documentary. But we should do a rebuttal, not a rebuttal. We should do a review of every single episode of the $7 short, whatever they're doing. What if we did Who Killed WCW and our conclusion was that it was actually Sting. We turned Sting into the heel. This is very mean of us, but like we got to go full different than everybody else. No one blames Sting for anything.
No, Sting was the lifer, the holdout.
Right. We gotta blame Sting for killing WCW. What if we did that?
I would much rather put the blame on like Kiwi. Just find a way to blame. And I like Alan. Let's just blame Kiwi, the character. Spend a whole 3 hours.
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the real answer is Rick Steiner. Fuck that.
Well.
Nobody likes Rick Steiner. So is Kenny Omega going to be the new GM of AEW?
I don't know.
Well, he hasn't
do anything.
But he has a huge announcement tonight.
Is it huge or is it important?
Oh, let's find out because we need to check this real quick.
I think it's an important announcement.
Probably an important announcement. It probably is. But every time it's an announcement nonetheless. We're all making announcements. I love that Tony was like, I'm not sending someone in my place. However, someone's going to make a big reaction or a big announcement from my place. Big respect for that. Where is it? Why don't I see it?
It's the graphics everywhere. All right, my God.
I know that's the problem. And I'm on the AEW social media account.
It's an important announcement.
All right, so it's an important announcement.
EVP Kenny Omega will have an important announcement. Okay. What if he's just announcing ticket sales?
What if he's just announcing the new season of Fight Forever that just dropped today, the new DLC?
People will still play that game?
Allegedly.
Okay.
Let's ask Mike Straw if people are still playing the video game.
I played that game for like 2 days, and I was like, all right, that was fun.
Hooray.
That was it. Did you ever play it?
Fight Forever?
Yeah.
I did not. I couldn't get a copy on the Switch for less than $60, and I was like, I'm
sure you can get it now for less than $60.
Let's find out. Go ahead. Keep talking.
How much do you think a copy is now? I feel like it's like $20.
Well, I'm on Amazon right now, so let's take a look. AEW Fight Forever is currently available for $39.51 cross
That's
formats.
That's too much.
The Switch version is $39.51. 46. This is, by the way, this is Canadian. Keep that in mind. So take off 25% from.
Okay.
So okay, let's see if I can find the American one here.
Hold on, I'll look for it.
Yeah, you look for it on your side.
Riveting research.
Riveting
here.
content. That's right. PC. Okay, Xbox One, $35.22.
$20 on Nintendo Switch.
$20, eh?
$28 on PS5.
$10 at Walmart.
There you go. $10. My God.
Let's see if I can find it at my local Walmart.
Dude, the DLC costs more than the actual game.
That's the problem. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh no. If you want it, no. My Walmart doesn't even have the Switch version, and they want the PS5 version is $37.40. The Xbox version is $52. Ain't no way.
Jason is saying, according to Steam charts, 15 people were playing Fight Forever in the past 23 hours.
Yeah, 14 of them fell asleep. Sorry.
Wow.
That was me. I channeled my inner Mike Straw for that comment. I'm sorry.
Wow. That wasn't nice. The thing is like it's not a bad game. Like, you talked about it when it first came out. Like
you're right. It's a fun game. It actually is a fun game to play.
It's just there ain't too much depth to it, so it doesn't feel like you can play it for that long once you've kind of used it. And then the DLC was so sporadic and erratic that it was and you have to pay for that too. So it's like, all right, I've already spent $60 on this game. Now I got to pay $20 for this DLC and $20 for this DLC. No, nobody wants to do that. No, it was mismanaged. That's what it was. It had potential, but it was mismanaged, and now nobody plays it.
So buy me the Switch version, and I will play it while I'm on the train for 5 hours going to Montreal in July.
If you kiss your foot, I will buy you the Switch version.
$500, baby. Kim Gray sent us a super chat. Thank you, Kim, saying, my bow is excited for the Wyatt 6 full-blown detective mode. That's the thing. I expected that. I expect and I appreciate that. So if you've gone full-blown detective mode, kudos to you. I hope that you're finding all the clues, you're deciphering all the puzzles, and that you are excited for the reveal when it eventually happens.
I can't wait for it. I'm so excited.
The reveal, or wait for an all DLC edition of Fight Forever from Jeff.
I don't care about Fight Forever again. I haven't played that game since the day after it came out.
There are a lot of things I can get away with writing off. I don't think this is one of those.
I don't know. You actually might be able to.
I'll play it on the air. Hey, it's Joel here playing Fight Forever on Twitch. Joel, the game came out like 6 months ago. Yeah, and I'm just getting around to playing it. It's in my game queue. What other games are in my game queue? Don't ask that question. There's a lot of them. But AEW got bumped to the top so I could write this game off. That's how it works. We don't rent games anymore. If you want to buy me the digital version, I will thank you for that. But don't go out of your way for it, please. If you work at Nintendo, I will accept a sponsorship.
Yeah, here's the biggest issue. Rare Beast says it. I like Fight Forever, but I just wanted to make creative wrestlers, and the way you have to level creative wrestlers is annoying long term. The customization is a pain. It's also there's not too much customization options. Like that's why people love WWE 2K24 is you get real in depth with that stuff.
And like it's a joke from King Potato, but like people do this all the time. Yeah. Indie wrestlers get remade as cause in 2K24. AEW stars do it. Like just the WWE way of like who does a 2K's version is so much more interactive and intuitive than what AEW came out with Ukes.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you had something to add. Ryan Lambert sent a super chat saying TK's announcing the return of Global Force Wrestling. I'm telling you, man, Jeff Jarrett is he's sleuthing around somewhere. He's doing something.
It's time. The WWE games is good this year. By the way, I got it. I play it. I like it.
Yeah, I can go out of my way to play them, but yeah, I don't know. The one thing that got me with the stuff from AEW was when they showed the t-shirt cannon stuff, and they were in the stands in the stadium, and the gameplay.
Yeah, the Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, but then they have like Kenny Omega blasting a t-shirt cannon at Joe, and it looks like a bazooka goes off in Joe's chest. I'm like, oh, we're committing murder in the video game. Let's go.
See, that was supposed to be their big, like, everybody's going to want to play this game because it's like wrestling battle royale online. The problem was it wasn't part of the initial wave of stuff. Like, they didn't release that until like a couple months later, and like everybody had already kind of given up on the game by that point, and it just seemed like the servers weren't very good and they just couldn't handle stuff. And so it was like, okay, that was fun, but now we're kind of over it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just go back to playing ECW Hardcore Revolution.
That game ruled.
That game was awful and the best at the same time.
I love those Acclaim games where they're like making those noises when you punch and kick people. Fantastic. That's
what I'm here for.
Fantastic.
Oh God. Anyway, we're at the end of our rope here.
Are we?
Well, I mean,
no,
I mean, in terms of like today's show, we got a Dynamite preview to do. But other than that, is there anything else you want to talk about from the stuff? What do we think?
What?
Is there any news dropping that we had to talk about?
Sure, there's always news. There's always something to do, Joel.
Oh, I know, but it's like the world of MLW. It never stops. But like, has there been anything else that's like rivetingly worth discussing?
The Colorado Avalanche are 1-0 in the second round. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 1-0 in the second round.
I feel like we did that already.
That's the only thing important going on in my world.
Okay, then.
Wrestling is cares.
Wrestling is wrestling. I should ask. Andrew Zarian's here finally. Says he's sorry for missing us. Being that guy. Couldn't hack the stream. He's too busy being a big star on Tuesdays. He doesn't want to hang out with us anymore. I get it.
Fair.
I get it. Let's check the ITW questions. Do we have any more? No, we do not.
Good.
People are the worst.
I thought JJ left us a question.
Pardon?
JJ left us a question.
Did he actually?
Yeah. He asked, has Velveteen Dream been fired yet? And then basketball question for me, is Jalen Brunson becoming this era's Michael Jordan or on some level?
Did he use the hashtag?
Yeah.
Huh, that's strange. It legit did not pop up on my thing. We follow each other. That's very strange. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that,
Joel.
JJ. That's my bad.
I don't think Jalen Brunson is becoming Michael Jordan. Everyone's comparing Anthony Edwards to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's got 6 titles, right? Like, let's calm down on any comparisons to Michael Jordan. Maybe some players are playing a certain style. That man's got 6 championships. We gotta stop with all these comparisons. And then Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Maple Jordan.
Maple Leaf Jordan?
No, just Maple Jordan. That's his name.
Oh,
That's
my
his
bad.
nickname. He's Canadian.
Velveteen Dream has not been fired yet. He's still under investigation. We're just trying to make sure that we dot our I's, cross our T's. And
that's not a credible report.
That's not a credible report. You're right. Please don't quote that. Please don't use it with us. But it's okay. It's not credible.
Brunson can be the best player on a finals team. I don't know if the Knicks can win a title. Honestly, like that's a good team. They're going to be tough for Boston. Boston hasn't been challenged at all these playoffs. And I don't think Cleveland's going to really challenge them. The Knicks will challenge them. I look forward to that series. It's finally an interesting Eastern Conference series because this second round in the East is like, not feeling it. Second round in the West hasn't gone like, it's been more surprising just with the blowouts. It's just like, no.
Yeah, but when will the Raptors make the playoffs again?
Honestly, the East kind of sucks, so it could be early as next year.
Well, let's go then. It's going to happen.
Can you name anybody on the Toronto Raptors?
I cannot. Okay. I can name the $100 ticket that gets me a box and free food and beverage. Okay. It's a pretty good deal. Huh? It's pretty good. I like it. Hey, and Henry Bear is asking, how would you debut Camille in any promotion? Well, it seems like the promotion is going to be AEW based. So Ring of Honor or All Elite Wrestling. How do you debut her? Whose heavy is she?
Have her walk out and just stand next to Layla Hirsch again. That's it.
Oh, I got to use the meme out of that. That was the best day ever. People were just like, I can't believe you did that. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, I did it. And I'll do it again. It was the best. I'd have her do that again.
Yeah, high heels.
High heels.
Dude, Mama Wayne was towering. Again, I know she was wearing like 20-inch heels. She was towering over Swerve last week. I'm like, fuck. Put the belt on Mama Wayne. Who cares about Swerve and Christian here? She should win the title. That's what I do, Camille.
Yeah, have Camille do that. Okay. I don't know how else you can have her do it. Just come in and
QR codes.
QR codes for 3 months. She's a new member of Best Friends. Could you? Oh my God. Do you just imagine that? I would love that. I don't know. That's how I do it.
How would you debut Camille, Joel?
Just like this. Just like that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Easy as that. How would you debut her?
I just told you. Layla Hirsch is out there and Camille just comes out and just like chills.
Just chill. Chills. Yeah. She should be Serena Deeb's heavy.
She just chills.
That's it. Anyway, I got nothing else for that question. Mama Wayne should win the AEW World Championship. She should be.
What kind of backup is Swerve going to have tonight?
Camille.
Oh, that'd be great.
Actually, it would be fun.
For it.
Oh, man. JJ wants to know what kind of stuff I'm watching. I'm not. I watch a lot of YouTube content. I think people know this about me.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know. I'll usually watch. After this, I'll probably watch whatever Kimmel's monologue was from last night because that just makes my algorithm all the time. I'll watch some.
What?
I'll watch Kimmel's monologue. What's wrong with that? Maybe I like Jimmy Kimmel. Is that a problem?
Do you like Jimmy Kimmel?
I mean, I watch his stuff.
Okay.
Pretty much, I tolerate him, which is pretty much.
What? I was like, how does that make your algorithm?
I mean, I don't know.
I guess clearly because you watch Jimmy Kimmel, but
I mean, I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I'll just watch his shtick.
I don't have Jimmy Kimmel making my algorithm.
Well, then clearly you're not watching the right type of comedy or something.
My algorithm is sports and rap.
That sounds about right. There's Mr. Who's the Boss talking about the new iPad. I'm just looking at my YouTube right now. What am I gonna have to look at? There's not a lot here that I can watch.
Did I make it in time?
I feel like you've been here before.
Oh. You know, something I was reminded of, and I just asked this on our Fightful Select Discord for people to guess, but in December 2020, I was convinced Denise was about to get hired by WWE. They were after her, I'll say that. And I was like, damn, I got to find a Raw co-host. And I wanted to bring in somebody new. Guess the only person that I got back to on their inquiry.
Not me?
Not you.
Matt Camp.
No, although he did inquire years prior. I don't know if it was about that. Listen, you're barking up sort of the right tree there. Sort of. I wonder if anybody in the chat will guess.
Camille. Sorry, no, that was 5 minutes ago.
Camille Brickhouse?
Yeah.
No, I did talk to her recently though.
Oh, that's nice. She got any good signings coming up?
Yeah, about 3 months ago.
Oh,
so that was a funny criticism too. Somebody goes, "Oh, Sean didn't report when she signed 3 months ago. Then all of a sudden she said she signed it and he magically has it." Well, yeah, that's the way information works, homeboy. I didn't know she signed anywhere. Then she said she signed somewhere. I asked and was told where she signed. There you go. Somebody says Conrad Thompson. No, he has asked me to come aboard his operation in the past.
Wait, hold on. Can I guess at this too?
Yeah.
Jackie Redmond?
No, but I would have loved to have had her.
Oh, us too. We've tried to get her for an interview.
Yeah, just talk to hockey.
Yeah, that's
Somebody
all-
said Will Washington. That would have been a good guess. No, we didn't do business until
Draft City.
2021. It was Ariana Grace.
Oh,
Oh
that
yeah.
was-
Was she doing AfterBuzz?
I'm not sure. She had done stuff. By then, she was going by Bianca Corelli. But I looked at her stuff and I was like, oh my gosh. And I think I got back to her like a week and a half later. And I think by the time we sort of engaged about that and there was a follow-up, Denise is like, no, I'm staying. And I see where it is now or where she is now. And I was like, I probably should have just tried to get her on screen in any capacity, any shape or form, because, and I mean, her reel was incredible. Like the stuff that she did was so good. But yeah, I just kind of noticed that people, let me tell you, some of the people that are reaching out on Discord: Russo, Bischoff, Bully Ray, Ryback, Marco Stunt.
Wait,
Marco's
Marco would have been fun.
Marco
Some of the people that I did reach out to in 2016 were like Brian Zane, Sean Oliver, Sean Waltman. Sean Oliver's was great. He's like, man, then I'd have to watch the show.
Well, he doesn't watch it now when he reviews it with Nash. So
fair. But yeah. Anyway, what are y'all up to? What's going on?
I'm going to Greektown on Friday. Is there anyone you want me to talk to?
Who's going to be there?
I'm hoping to have some words with Elijah.
Okay.
With Mike Santana, who was the Greektown champion.
All right. Tell him you know me.
I will. I'll
drop him a message.
He's been on our show too, but Steve Arkansas is also helping us with that one. And Trey Miguel's coming back. He's filling in for Masha. So
I see Allison K is a friend.
Yeah, Allison just got popped in because Lady Frost couldn't make the show. So,
okay, Puff is booked.
Puff's booked. Wes Maserati's there, so we'll talk to him maybe. There's a whole lot of people there. Maybe even
Channing Decker. Good, he's
his promotion. I should hope so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's been on the show. Masha, yeah. Let's see.
Masha's not coming anymore.
Oh, Masha's not coming anymore. So
that's why Trey's coming. They just replaced him this morning.
Okay, all right then. Damn,
it's a pretty loaded card. If y'all are around Toronto, go around Ted Reeve Arena. I'll be there. It's gonna be a fun show. I said I'd put it over because I'll be there and hopefully get some good content for y'all. Some good chats.
Hopefully. I've still got tons from Mania Week and Mania Weekend and Squared Circle Expo and all that. We had Rocky Romero this week. I'm gonna release one of the Squared Circle Expo interviews hopefully this weekend, assuming the articles are done from it. But I think they are. But yeah, lots of stuff going on this week. When's our next big show? When the hell is King of the Ring?
The end of May. 20.
Yeah, that's King of the Ring and Double or Nothing same weekend.
Is that the same weekend?
You bet.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Here's what I love. King of the Ring will be at like 1 p.m. Double or Nothing will end at like midnight.
1 a.m. on Sunday.
At least King of the Ring's on a Saturday. So, but then you got to do like Collision and then Double or Nothing. It's there's too much of this. Too much wrestling.
And then Jeremy, that's a main single Monday for us.
Listen, I like that all the non-big PLEs are just on Saturday afternoons. I really
I love
like
that. I'm for that. I need AEW to move their shows to Saturdays.
Yeah, I wish they would. Listen, I mean, I like that every wrestling company is like, no, we ain't working against the NFL. That's pointless, fruitless. Because also I can have the day off, fortunately, but
I just need to be on Saturdays. These, especially these press conferences that go until 3 a.m. are unnecessary.
Yeah, that's also true.
Very happy that TNA is running their Slammiversary show on a Saturday.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
In the middle of July when no one else is really running, because WWE is at the beginning of the month. No one else is doing anything big through the rest of the month. So that'll be an easier show.
It has really felt like a lot of the TNA shows are happening like during SmackDown or the same day as something else, and it's very difficult to.
They run a pay-per-view and then they run TV tapings, and 2 weeks later it's a PLE. It's one of their
No.
YouTube specials. Not fun.
It's too much. Too much wrestling.
Too much
All of them
wrestling.
should knock it off.
Yeah.
On that note, I'm hitting the bricks.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Sean.
Don't break the bricks.
Too much wrestling.
Too much wrestling.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here by previewing the wrestling, and then let's go home. You don't feel like it? No neck brace this week. No upsetted questions.
I can't travel, Joel. The show is, not cleared to travel to do the bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go over what's happening here then?
Thanks, Joel. We have a great lineup tonight for AEW Dynamite live on TBS, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to hear from the AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland. He's going to call out Christian Cage, his opponent, for AEW Double or Nothing, which is live, only on pay-per-view. Swerve said he's not going to come alone. Who will Swerve have with him? Tune in tonight, live, 8 p.m. Eastern, AEW Dynamite, only on TBS. Plus, in the women's division, Mariah May will be taking on Harley Cameron. You won't want to miss this exciting match in the AEW women's division, live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, TBS, AEW Dynamite. We're also going to hear from the Professor, Serena Deeb. What will the Professor teach us? Tonight on AEW Dynamite, live, TBS, 8 p.m. Eastern, as she prepares for her big match against Toni Storm for the AEW Women's title, live, only on pay-per-view, AEW, Double or Nothing. There's an alarm going off. We have an important trade to make with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We will have to see who that is as I continue to perform my duties here in Jacksonville with the Jaguars and Fulham. But before I get to all of my duties with Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham FC, thank you to all the great NFL and FC fans around the world. You don't want to miss AEW Dynamite live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. Make sure to set your alarms for 8 p.m. Eastern, live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, AEW Dynamite, only on TBS, because you won't want to miss the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. He's going to be teaming with his pupil, Big Bill, in an exciting tag team bout, only on AEW Dynamite, live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, on TBS. Plus, the AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland, he will call out Christian Cage. I've already said that. It's so important that I had to say it again, though. You won't want to miss what Swerve Strickland has to say. He's not the only champion that'll be on TV tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. TBS, AEW Dynamite. You will see AEW TNT champion Adam Copeland take on another member of the House of Black. He will be facing Brody King for the AEW TNT championship. That's an exciting matchup for all the great AEW fans. Also, we have Orange Cassidy facing his former best friend, one of his best friends. Is Trent his real best friend? Is it Orange Cassidy? Is it Chris Statlander? No, it is not Trent, because Orange Cassidy will be facing Trent tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS, AEW Dynamite. That's an exciting matchup for all the great fans. Plus, Kenny Omega, he's back after being attacked by those dastardly young... Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh. After being attacked by the dastardly Young Bucks and Jack Perry as Kazuchika Okada, Kenny Omega will have a very important announcement. You won't want to miss Kenny Omega's important announcement live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on AEW Dynamite. Again, fans, remember to set your alarms for 7:55 p.m. Eastern, because you don't want to miss the last 5 minutes of the Big Bang Theory, only on TBS. We got an exciting show for everyone. We're back in Canada, home of all the great Canadian AEW fans, home of Kenny Omega, home of Chris Jericho. You don't want to miss AEW Dynamite live tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on TBS. Thank you to all the great AEW fans. Justified. This is awesome chant.
Yeah.
This is remote. He did it.
It's a very long one.
Did it remote. That's how long all of those are. It just doesn't feel that way when it's in the moment, but they're all very long.
Good Lord. I'm starting to think we had to cut these down.
No, why?
That's why.
Oh, you play the one everyone else was popping for the bit. Like King Potato also said fire.
All right, fine. It was funny.
You can hear the wife laugh because her alarm goes off in the middle of it.
And it keeps going.
Yeah, no, we couldn't stop it. We just let the alarm keep going the entire bit instead of, she could have reached over. We could have just stopped and paused the alarm or whatever. No, we just kept the alarm going the entire time until I finished my reading there.
Good Lord. Well, that was definitely a show that happened today. You have anything to plug before we get on out of here?
Yeah, one take, everybody. Do you think I really went to that multiple times? Are you kidding me? No, one take.
You could tell. For better or worse.
Just need to do that one time. I was done. That was it. Is Rampage on tonight as well, or is that Saturday?
I think it's Saturday again. I think it's a 2-hour Dynamite tonight.
Right.
I see the soft ground wrestling stuff. Senjuki has signed a contract of honor for a match against Will Ospreay. They want to do it at Forbidden Door, I guess. See where that goes. I mean, Will Ospreay putting up the international championship against someone from soft ground. Something you could do. I don't know.
Will Ospreay wants to go there though. So.
That is fair, but you can do a home and home.
I guess so. Sure.
Who knows? It gets some pretty interesting.
Will Ospreay should go to the soft ground and be like, "Shit doesn't work for me, brother." He should just big time all these dudes.
That doesn't work for you, bro. And then Mason Mansoir go and be his heavy for this whole thing.
Yeah, he should just big time these SGW dudes. Like, how much have you made, bruv?
Here's $200, bruv. Buy yourself a ring. Oh, it's all right. Anyway, we have content on this channel every day. We drop stuff. Stuff happens. Listen, some of our people on this channel go and have weird invasive surgeries and want to vlog about them, but that's just what happens here. Okay, go watch all the content we drop daily. Leave a thumbs up on the video, and of course subscribe to us on the channel if you haven't already. What are you doing? You're missing out. We're back on Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Talk about Dynamite. Talk about any of the other news that comes out. I'm sure we'll have plenty to discuss. Jeremy will talk about the sports, and I will follow along as I always do. For Jeremy Lambert, I am at Joel Pearl. JOELPERL. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Enjoy Dynamite. Cheers.